Oh, thank you, Jesse. For the record, I'm only online. Oh, there we go. I'm finally online with YouTube. Jesus.
That was an invalid show number. Please re-enter your show.
I'm online.
Enter
Periscope don't
your
want to go live
six-digit
tonight.
PIN.
Have you seen us online
Welcome,
live on
call
Facebook?
screener. You may now begin your call screening
Yes, you know
session in
you're
the
on
Call-in Studio
speaker,
web
right?
interface. You will be put on.
Periscope don't want to work tonight. I see. Interesting. Looks like everything else is working though. How you doing, Chad?
Surviving. Yourself?
Living the dream, kid. Living the dream. Yeah.
Got a new desk.
Ooh.
Mazel tov.
When you spend that much time there, I had to buy my son a new chair for his desk since he's schooling at home.
I bought $100 legs for my desk.
I
97
so
bucks.
work was giving us $500 worth of credit or whatever for home office stuff. So
Excellent.
I got a second 32-inch monitor and a L-shaped desk.
Nice.
Very nice.
A second. 32
I wish I could work from home.
second.
Well, when you're blind as a bat, you need a 32-inch monitor helps.
Right. Helps a lot, doesn't it? All right, guys, we are back. Thanks for joining in tonight. We appreciate it. Back. Sorry. For the record, guys, I'll get that to in a second. So let's start this show, Chad. It is just about 8. My alarm's gonna go off in 1 second. Let's at least. My phone alarm's gonna go off in 1 second. Hold on. That's at least. Hello, all. Hello, Ryan. Hello, Meltra. Hello, Jim. Hello, Spider Queen. Hello, Chad. Hello, Glenn. Hello, Leah. Welcome to the show. We're back. Oh, Tom Seaver died, Chad. I just got the CNN alert.
Mm.
Tom Seaver died. That's sad. That's my childhood right there.
So who do you played for? Who do you play for? Mets or?
Mets, you got it. The Mets, yeah, sure did. There we go. All right, let's do this. Let's push this slide. All right, audio's recording in 3, 2, 1.
You wanna know how to find it. Seek it out when they hide it. You know it's in the bag when it's an easy grab. But come on, take a chance now. So go, geocache, geocache. And if you need help, we're right there in a flash. If you got a question, just call in and ask. Uncover the stash on the Geocaching Podcast. The Geocaching Podcast.
Welcome, everyone. It is Wednesday. It is 8:30, which means that it is once again time for the Geocaching Podcast. My name is Scott Burks. We have Short and It's manning the phones. And please welcome to my virtual left, my co-host, Jazz. 427.
Howdy, y'all. Do you want to try caching with Muggles?
Catching with Muggles. That's right, Chad, because tonight's episode 630, record live on September 2nd, 2020, is Geocaching with Muggles, Chad. Phone lines are open, guys. Give us a call, 808-468-7924, 808-GOT-SWAG. And for you international callers, you can give us a call free via the web at callinstudio.com/show/GCPC. But Chad,
Mm-hmm.
so much to talk about tonight because we missed a week, so much is going on. Before we get started, we got to talk about Patreon. Chad, it costs a lot of money to make the show run, Chad.
Couple bucks.
Chad, it costs a lot of money. You know, Chad, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with everybody. Everybody in our listening audience right now, and Jesse can attest to this. When we started this show in 2018, it cost a lot of money. Do you remember, Jess?
Oh, yes.
Because I put it on my credit card.
Oh, yes.
It costs a
I
lot of money
know.
to figure out how to make this stuff work, and we finally did it. And we were in the red, Chad, in the red for years. Guess what, Chad?
Are we green?
$68 green.
$68. Wow.
What
We're
are those
rich.
coins?
$68 green, kids. It took, Chad, it took from October 2018 until
Almost-
September 2020.
Almost 2 years.
Almost two. That's how much.
Actually,
Yeah.
before October, we restarted in October, but you
All right.
started like
Yeah,
paying
Researching
for
before-
services
all right.
and things
Oh,
before
we
that.
started paying
So
before that, yeah. So
yeah.
and you have to remember that, guys. As once it wasn't that it didn't cost that much, but you got to remember that we also had monthly expenses on top of the
Right.
debt we already had bringing the show live. So
Mhm.
finally, we are in the green, Chad. You know what that means? That means fun stuff is going to start happening because we are in the
Ooh.
green, kid. In the green. So thank you to our patrons who made that possible. We appreciate it, guys. As I always said, this is your show and not my show. It is your show because you guys make this show happen. So I appreciate it very much. You want to become a patron of this show, you can. You get extra audio, extra video, only available to our patron members. Not only that, but guess what? We just put a live video on just this weekend. Jesse and I put a video on.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't watched it yet.
Man, this should be a sales pitch for why you should get into podcasting. Yeah. All right. So we appreciate you guys so much. Extra audio, extra video. Anything in the store is for cost. We have patron only shows. Anything else the patrons got, Chad? Am I missing anything else?
Some path tags and
tag and a sticker.
and
Sticker.
And
a sticker and
now I can
uh,
I can get the coin. So
sometime in the future, geocoin.
yes, so it always so it's
I want a geocoin.
Mhm.
go and get a geocoin. One thing I want to talk about real quick. So guys, anything you can do to help, we'd appreciate it. Become a patron of the show. It's a lot of fun. There's so much stuff. Now we've been on 2 years. There's so much stuff on the other side you guys are missing. Become a patron. Tiers starting as low as $3. Become a patron. It's patreon.com. That's patreon.com/the geocaching podcast. Or you make a one-time payment to us. You can do a one-time payment. You go to paypal.me. That's PAYPAL.me/the geocaching podcast.
Listener feedback.
I hit the wrong
The
button.
wrong button.
That was the wrong button. You see, that's what happens when you skip a week. You've hit the wrong damn button. Hold on a second.
I was ready and was like, that's wrong music.
Like, oh, we're doing things different this week.
It's like this is like far enough away where it's like it's blurry. I'll try to There
Promotional
we go.
consideration paid for by the following.
thank Lord.
All right. Tonight's show is brought to you by Cachly. Cachly is an advanced geocaching app for iOS. It features powerful online and offline features, including filtered searches, offline maps, and offline saving of caches. Cachly has hundreds of advanced features that will make your geocaching experience just that much better. Get more info at cachly.com. That's CACHLY.com.
And tonight we're also sponsored by Logwork. Logwork are the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine write in the rain paper. The logbook designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards a hider who would rather go cache than do cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com, LOGWERK.com.
It's also brought to you by FTF Geocacher Magazine. FTF Geocacher is the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers. With 6 issues a year, FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Find them at ftfgeocacher.com.
And by the Max Suds Body Company. Max Suds Body Company makes handmade bath and body products from all natural oils and butters. Items such as Poison Be Gone soap, itch spray, and 2-cent choices of bug spray are all great for outdoor enthusiasts like geocachers. At Max Suds Body, we have you covered from head to toe. Find them.
And
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
You'll let me finish yet? Is that
Yeah.
okay? Find them at maxsudsbody.com. That's MACSUDSBODY.com.
I was just anxious to get to practical geocaching. And by Practical Geocaching. Practical Geocaching sells utility items for geocaching. Our items are made in the USA, and we always provide free shipping. Find them at practicalgeocaching.com. That's PRACTICAL geocaching.com. And we got some news from them a little bit later with that.
Fair enough. And by Arted Crafted. Arted Crafted creates unique geocaching themed tees and custom designs for you or your geocaching group, with adult sizes ranging from small to 5XL. If you have an idea for a shirt design and you cannot find it, you've come to the right place, Chad. Please give us an opportunity to show you how we can enhance your caching experience with your own custom design. Visit them at artedcrafted.com. That's ARTEDCRAFTED.com.
And finally, buy pattags.com for all your swag and pattag needs. Visit our website to get creative help. to trade or log tags, or to purchase your own personalized pat tag. With over 39,000 tags to collect, pattags.com is everything you need to start your pat tag obsession. Visit them at pattags.com. That's PATHTAGS.com.
And as always, Chad, you can find links to our sponsors on our website or
in our show notes.
in our show notes, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
So much going on. So we missed last week, Chad. Sorry we missed you. Missed you, Chad.
Yeah.
So-
Heard you had a couple games.
Yeah, all the kids are in the playoffs. Toby bowed out first round. Cam bowed out first round. Shane went the whole way. Won the championship 2 years in a row.
Awesome.
So it was worth
Congrats,
it
Shane.
was worth missing the show. Got to see my son win a second championship. So that was nice. So baseball is mostly over. Shane now plays fall ball till October. So we have that.
And then we'll have November and December off, and then we have 2 starting back up in January.
Yeah, her son Cam made the travel team as well. So
Awesome.
Kids doing travel baseball this year. Yeah, Jesse, they like the fact that you're drinking wine tonight. By the way, don't think that
Yeah, I said I was going to go get something to drink, and my 13-year-old son suggested I have some wine. So,
Well, tell him I appreciate that.
right?
Yeah. So we got an interesting. So also, Chad. Wait, hold on before I start that. Did you see, Chad, the Indiegogo for left fingers came out? Did you see that? I think
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I didn't see that. Okay.
put it on Facebook. Yes, sir. If you go to Indiegogo and you type in left fingers, you can see it. Or you look us up on Facebook. I pledged. I got us a coin. They listen to us, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Coin, and they have a path tag, and they have a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to Indiegogo. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Priorities.
I help support. So, guys, if you want to help support this movie, you can. You go to Indiegogo and type in left fingers, and you could help support them. They'd appreciate it. You can get a geocoin, a left fingers geocoin. So, Chad,
Mm-hmm.
I know you're like, hey, Jesse. Chad's too busy. Jesse.
Hey, Scott.
So, did you see geocaching got new attributes?
I saw that.
We didn't even talk about it. We live in this.
You and I?
We're married, and we
Oh
didn't
my
even talk about it.
We've had so much to talk about this week. Like, geocaching is not even on the radar.
It's just like we have not even discussed this, and we live together. We lay in bed together and talk about things that we didn't even talk about. So what do you think, Jess, of this?
I think I
Go ahead.
I've been so busy this week that I glanced over it and was like, "Oh, that's awesome! Finally." And then I didn't think about it again. But for me, I think the best one that I'm the most excited about is the challenge caches. I think that
Challenge cache attribute, and guys,
Yeah,
right now I have it on my screen. Yeah.
yes, the challenge cache attribute I think is,
And
in
why is
fact,
that? Why-
note to self must add attribute.
to your challenge caches.
Yeah.
What about the bonus
Ooh.
cache attribute? You don't have any.
I don't have any anymore. I did. I had a series with a final, and you had to find, the first 9 to find the 10th.
Mm-hmm.
That would have
Oh yeah, right.
qualified for that.
How about a power trail attribute, Jesse Brown? Chad. And then we've got the Jesse, the geocaching.com solution checker attribute. That's getting so we got more attributes. Now how many attributes? It's 85 now. Weren't there 82 or 81? How many were there?
I don't remember because there were some and then they got taken away, but do they still count? Because they still are, like the cactus is still technically.
It'll get added automatically even if you don't add it.
I thought there was 64.
Oh.
Well,
Oh, they'll do it for
positive
you.
ones.
Maybe if you have challenge in your name, it'll automatically add it.
Yeah, if it's a mystery with the word challenge in it. Okay,
Right. Yes. Okay.
cool. Good to know.
Good to know.
Awesome.
So yeah,
One less thing for me to do. To cross that off my to-do list. Done. Thank you, geocaching.com.
Jesse's done. Okay. Okay, we talked about. How about okay? So Chad, I got this in the mail. Did you get this in the mail, or just me?
I gotta put. You talking about the pusher?
Talking about the pusher.
Yeah, my wife's like, "What the hell's that?"
So one thing's great. Why we love our sponsors so much because they send us fun things in the mail. And one thing we got here, we got the practical geocaching, the practical geocaching pusher. And I know Jim wanted me to say. What did Jim want me to say? He said it's 2-finger design. It opens doors, pushes buttons, handles, and you can even handle caches with it. For the month of September, the first 25 orders from Practical Geocaching that have spend more than $25 is going to get one free, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong with free, Chad.
Can't go wrong with free.
I was poking Jesse with it earlier. I was chicken away at her before earlier. Wasn't happy about it.
Maybe that's what I should do with my wife.
Right? Well, hey, if you order in September from Practical Geocaching, you spend $25, you're going to get one of these free. And if you don't, if you order separately, Chad, they're only $4.95.
That's a good
That's
deal.
a great deal.
Wait, not only $4.95, free shipping, dude.
Even
They're
better.
legit $4.95, Chad.
Wow.
That being said, GC has got these for $7.95 plus shipping. So they're cheaper than geocaching.
Awesome.
How about that? Can't go wrong, guys. Free. Spend $25 practically. Let me tell you something. It's pretty easy to spend $25 practical geocaching.
Mm-hmm.
Real easy to do. So thank you guys for that. We appreciate it very much. There's a sale alert. Jesse, tell me about the sale alert in the shop.
Sale alert now through September 8th. All t-shirts, regular t-shirts are $15 and everything else is on sale. So it's not too late to get your 2020 sucks shirt. It still sucks. You know why it sucks for me?
Why?
This could not, I mean, it's 2020, right? Why does this surprise me? I went to turn my calendar page from August to September yesterday. Guess what?
What happened, baby?
My calendar does not have September. It went August, October.
So you just go straight to October then. You get to bypass September.
I guess get this year over with quicker.
That's interesting. Yeah, sales prices as marked. $15 price only applies to regular t-shirts. Ends 9/8 at 5 p.m. Central Time. You find those guys. You can find the t-shirts at geocachingpodcast.threadless.com, or just go to our site geocachingpodcast.com, and then you click on the shop. I think what? I don't know. I think it says shop. And guys, okay, one more thing. Chad, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing.
Sorry, I was fighting with Indiegogo. It didn't like the word California, wanted CA.
Are you buying something?
Oh yeah, I got the geocoin level on the
As did I.
on the left fingers.
As did I. Yes, sir. Now the question is that what is this? Pat's going to ask her mom if the old offer to Pat her in next year. What is that?
I'm going to knock you into next year.
Oh, what does Robert say? I saw a 2020 sucks t-shirt in the Rehoboth, Delaware. Is that what Delaware?
Rehoboth Beach.
Oh, I thought the store had ripped you off. No, I'm not the person who thought of 2020 sucks on a t-shirt.
I saw a mask that said 2020 sucks somewhere. I can't remember where.
And the $1 million question is am I going to make a 2020 sucked t-shirt come January? Do that. 2020 sucked.
So you just get a Sharpie and
Add ED.
add ED.
2020 sucked. Guess what, Chad? You know what today is, Chad? What's the day today, Chad?
9/2,
Do you know what?
September 2nd.
Do you know what September 2nd is, Chad?
It is 2 months and 1 day before Election Day.
Oh yeah, God bless. Yes. Other than that, do you know,
I haven't a clue.
today is a 20th anniversary of the geocaching.com launch, Chad.
Oh yeah,
And guess what?
with 144 T-shirts.
That's right. Come Saturday night, because we are having a show. We're having a show this Saturday night, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to deep dive and reminisce about that website, Chad. We're going to deep dive it. That's what we're going to be doing this Saturday. So you don't want to miss it this Saturday night, guys, in the Saturday night antisocial club. Number 22, I think it is, Chad. Episode 22. Yeah, so that's coming up Saturday night. It's gonna be a fun time. Deep dive in the 20th anniversary of geocaching.com. Doing that Saturday night. All right, Chad, we got an email quick before we get started on this show.
I got mail! Yay! I got mail! Yay!
Yay. Hi, Jesse, Scott, and Chad. Jesse gets top billing in this one, by the way.
Good.
Wave, Jess. Wave to them. It's FF Skippy, by the way. He might be in the chat. Hi, Jesse, Scott, and Chad. Just wanted to share with you guys. Today, this is actually like a week and a half ago, along with my buddy Marble Guy, we traveled at 120 miles to Boston, Massachusetts, excuse me, for some adventure labs. BC, before COVID, Marble Guy and I cache at least once a week together with some other friends all over New England, finding 50 to 150 caches a trip. We haven't cached together since the end of February. We've been solo caching. Well, we got together today and tackled not one, not two, 3 or 4 labs, but 10, Chad, 10
10 labs.
adventure labs.
Wow.
10. Wow. That's right, 10, Chad. 5 stop adventures, 1 where I go, and 3 other caches. We've already done a lot of caching in Boston, mostly along the Freedom Trail. In the end, we hiked, walked over 14 miles and 90 degrees in 5 hours. We were tired at the end. We were also amazed at how little traffic and pedestrians were around the city on a weekday. So far, we are the only ones to do all 10 in one day. Looking forward to more goodness from you guys. FF Skippy. Thank you, buddy.
Awesome.
So, Jesse and I just did the 2 in Evanston, the one geocache method put out. Remember how there was like a 10 stager in Evanston? And then his son actually put out another one, a 5 stager, like down by the
lakefront.
Yeah, by the lakefront. They were really nice. We went down to Evanston and spent the day. Took the dog down. The dog saw the water. She didn't appreciate it at all. Yeah, she wasn't a big fan of the beach. Let's put it. She's not a so I finally got to Wrigley. Okay, over the weekend I got to Wrigley because I have to do my adventure lab.
Speaking of adventure labs,
Yeah, I have to build mine. So I had to go to Wrigley, take all the pictures I needed to take pictures, and take quartz and stuff like that. And so and then we went to Evanston after that to go do the adventure labs, make a day of it. So we took Jeeps with us, and Jeeps did not like the city. Jeeps is she is a country mouse, man. She's not a city mouse. She is a country mouse. She hated the city. There's too much going on, man. She didn't like it at all, right, Jess? Do you agree with that?
agreed, 100%.
What are you looking at, Jess?
I'm reading our show notes.
Oh, okay.
I was skipping ahead.
My adventure lab should be coming out relatively soon, which is nice because I want to get. Then we got to go to Jesse's. We have to go do Jesse's as well. That's nice.
So are you doing one at Wrigley Field or
I am. I'm doing one at Wrigley. I'm doing around Wrigley. Yeah.
around? Yeah.
Wrigley has 4 statues surrounding it of famous ball players from like Harry Carey and Billy Williams.
Right.
Hank Aaron, not Hank Aaron, Jesus Christ. Mr. Cup, Ernie Banks, and one more. Did I say Billy Williams? There's one more. And so, so I use those, and then I use the marquee as well. So, great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be one more thing you can do at Wrigley when you're in the city if you're from out of town. There's already a cache at Wrigley. There's a
virtual there.
virtual at Wrigley. You're gonna be able to get.
There's a webcam on an alternative listing site
Yes, there's a Jesse put there. Yeah.
I own.
So Wrigley is going to be like a 6 icon place soon enough.
Wow.
Yeah. So okay, so let's move along. So Chad, let's move along to this show here. Okay, geocaching with Muggles, Chad. I personally have never really done it. Jesse's done it a couple times. I know you've done it, Chad, because you have a wife who's a Muggle. So let's start with that. Guys, hold on. Let me start with, hey, anybody you cached with Muggles before, you got a story to tell, give us a call, 808-468-7924, 808-GOT-SWAG. You have a story to tell, you give us a story. We'd love to hear about geocaching. Your story is about geocaching with Muggles. So give us a call. We'd love to hear about it. All right, so we're going to start with Chad. Chad, tell me about caching with your wife, who is a Muggle, a hardcore Muggle, a dare I say, a geocaching widow, if I may.
Oh, well, I've done more than cache with her as far as Muggles are concerned. I took out about 8 coworkers one day to as well to go cache. But with my wife, it's mainly been mostly been opportunistic caches, and then while traveling caches. So with her, I've always had to find things that didn't consume a large search. So earth caches, virtuals, those type of things, or at least something that had really high favorite points so that it made it interesting for her to actually go see and enjoy. Which that's one of the keys, in my opinion, is find some
Who,
for
22 minutes?
Hmm?
Who had 22 minutes in the chat?
did
Silently.
it go?
What's your wife cooking?
What's your wife cooking now?
I don't know. So I'm not sure where it cut me off. Anyways, so basically one of the major things that I think you need to do is find something that's definitely interesting for those muggles. I mean, when you're taking out muggles that are might be interested in caching in general, you don't necessarily need to go for the earth caches and the virtuals and that kind of stuff. You still want to caches, make sure that they're been hit, make sure that they're interested. In some cases, there's some in that you've already done that you have really nice caches.
Right.
Yes. And but with my wife, it's usually been opportunistic caching or caching while vacationing, and there. So I've got a limited, or like I said, earth caches, virtuals, and in caches have very high favorite points, so I know she's interested in it when she sees it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think he stopped talking.
That's it.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Talking. Didn't freeze.
Jess, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I took my dad caching, and this probably wasn't a good idea. I took him to a mega.
Really? Took it to a mega?
I did. I took my dad to a mega, and that probably to introduce him to geocaching. And I think that was so overwhelming because there was so much going on between the social part and the caches there, and it was so much for him to take in. And I don't think that's a good way to introduce a muggle to geocaching for the first time.
Yeah, muggles and megas are difficult. So my wife, so I've been to 3 or 4 megas with my wife, so she's wanted to go. So it's like, okay, but I'm gonna be focused over here, focused over there, and so she gets a little irritated when things are slowing down. But she'll go off on her own and go see what's neat in the town, see what's going on here. So I don't necessarily have to do 100% focused with her on it. But in other instances where, so they're up on stage giving awards, that kind of stuff, and she's like, yeah, I don't care. I want to get out of here. those that's when it's like, just chill out.
Yeah. Well, Jess, you had another story about your dad too. I know we were talking about it at Timmy.
Yeah, long before I took him to the mega, I went to visit him out in West Virginia, and
We were trying to figure out. We were at dinner trying to figure out the timeline of this.
I was trying to figure out exactly when this was, because it wasn't like I was not a brand new cacher, but I was at the point where I was like gung ho all about geocaching at that time. And I figured out that it was right before I found my 2000th find. And so I went to go visit my dad with my son. He lives in West Virginia. and we were talking about it, and I was telling him, how much we'd been doing over the past few months, and he says, "Well, I'm only about 45 minutes from Pittsburgh, and then from there, it's not really too far from Maryland. So, do you want to go for a drive?" Well, I mean,
Duh.
that's a silly question, right? So my son, my dad, and I hopped in the car, and the dog wants to go out. Let me text my son and tell him.
Ding, ding.
Anyway,
The whole show now says, "Oh, the dog wants to go out before you knew."
yeah. I'm texting my son.
You're just
Take
reading
the dog
it
out. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, we spent the day. Oh, I think his phone is down here. That doesn't do it any good. Yeah, so we spent the day. My dad was a total muggle. That was his very first experience with caching at that point. This was long before the mega. And I found some really fun ones. And he had a really good time, enough so that he actually came when I invited him to a mega a year or two later. So
That's funny.
yeah, so it
They
was
were-
good.
We were trying to figure it out because we had just recently. I'm sorry, I got ice in my mouth. We had just started dating. I mean, like we started dating in what, December?
Right, and so this was the following summer.
I didn't go with you to your dad's because I went to
You went to West Bend
West Bend,
to the mega in
Right.
West Bend,
and you went to your father.
and I went to my father's.
That's the only year Jesse didn't go. Me and Jesse separated for a mega or for a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Because every year ever since then you've gone with me to.
Right.
Yeah. So Chad,
Mhm.
let's see what we got here. I did some research on this topic. So thank you to
Yes, you did.
thank you to Cash Advance for help with some of the things I'm talking about here tonight. So basically, if you're going to go out with the Muggle, you want to pack the basics, Chad.
Mhm.
Pack the basics. Set your Muggle up for success with their very own tools of the trade. You can make them a beginner pack with everything you think they'll need for the day, consider including a pencil, swag to trade, or anything else the caches you've picked for the day require. Which isn't a bad idea. That's pretty nice.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So, well, with me caching with them, I told them what the bare essentials are. A smartphone with the app downloaded and working,
Right.
which had about half of them there, an account set up,
Sure.
which that's I think one of the bare essentials, and about half of them had that as well, and then a writing utensil, and then your eyes, and beyond that, it's like we weren't getting into too deep where we needed a lot of tots and stuff because like I said, I vetted the caches and stuff beforehand, and looked, and then if we did need any tots, I was responsible. So
Fair enough. Yes. Next up, consider the activity/energy level of your Muggle friend. Although you may be an experienced cacher, that Muggle with you is new to the game. Think ahead and plan a cache route that will be appropriate for them. Also, keep in mind that if you have an older friend along, they may not have the mobility or stamina that you're used to. Chad, yes.
mhm.
You take your out of shape buddies out, and you may be a little more in shape than them, and they're struggling a little bit. So you got to be careful.
Well, yeah, that's
Shit.
definitely true. So I wouldn't be taking a bunch of muggles out on a 15-mile hike.
I know. Yeah, you'd be silly. I mean, I don't think they'd enjoy it very much. I wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
I don't like going on a 15-mile hike, let alone a
They might enjoy the first mile, but then after that, you're getting death dagger eyes.
I could do honestly, I could do 5 to 10. I'm okay with between 5 and 10. Anything more than that, I'm starting to get pissed off. But
It depends on what the weather's like.
yeah. But I think
If it's hot and muggy, then when you're getting about 5 and 10, and stuff, it's starting to wear on you.
I mean, my sweet spot's like 5. That's my sweet spot. Like a good 5-mile hike is my. If I could spend the day and go 5-6 miles, I'm that's fine. I'm totally happy with that. But anything over 10, I'm like, okay, really? Like, I'm gonna feel it the next day, and it just I'm like, oh, yeah. So I don't know, Chad. What's yours, real quick? Before what's your sweet spot? How far can you go? No
How
problem.
far can I go?
I know. Well, what's your sweet spot on how far you want to go?
Like I said, it depends upon what the weather's like. Nice cool weather, I'm good for 10 to 15.
Really?
Yeah.
Still happy
Huh?
doing it? And happy doing it.
And happy doing it.
Wow.
As long as it's not a lot of uphill, downhill stuff. And then, but if it's hot out, 5 is about where I want to stop it.
Yeah. No, I understand. No, I tell you, 5 to 10, man. That's my sweet spot, man. All right. So sign them up, Chad. Make sure they've set up an account before you venture out caching.
Mhm.
There's nothing worse than trying to download an app in the middle of the field with spotty cell service. So
Yep.
that's if and I would say like take them on and see if they enjoy it before they go and create an account. I think that's geocaching that's trying to.
All right. And when I was out there, and like I said, this is roughly, I think it was eight of us out there. So 8 newbies plus myself, Muggles plus myself. 4 of them had created accounts. 4 of them hadn't. And I told them, it's like, look, at this point, work with a partner up with someone. And I gave someone, and I brought a handheld GPS as well, and gave it to one of them to use.
Right.
And we're going to go this way because we're going to waste more time and get frustrated trying to set up an account on a smartphone in the field, and then download the app.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Jeffy, did the dog go out, by the way? So curious. Your mic's off, so I'm assuming she went out.
By the way, this was a team building experience at work. So,
Oh, really? Oh.
So we took the afternoon off, and as a team went out
And geocached.
and geocached.
Oh, you poor thing. You poor thing.
They 3 of them became pretty active geocachers. So,
right.
It's not too bad.
Oh, that 3 out of 8. Is that what it was?
Yeah, became pretty active geocachers.
Pretty good. It's a good average right there. Not too bad. Jess, did the dog go poop or peep?
She went out to go to the bathroom, and now she's all wound up.
All right. We got a call coming in, and Jesse, one in the queue here. We got a call coming in. We've got GSM times 2, California. Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you this day? Oh, there's my little Bella.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Bella, by the way, does the same thing as Jeeps. She rings her bell when she needs to go out.
Oh,
it's
like
a very
a good
good
girl.
skill to teach a dog.
Like a good girl. Good girl.
Like a girl.
So have you taken a Muggle out? What's your story?
So don't get too mad. Don't get too jealous.
Okay.
But I am actually paid to take Muggles geocaching. I'm a hiking guide for the Ojai Valley Inn and specializing in geocaching. So if a guest checks in and they want to go get a massage, they can go to get a facial, whatever, or they could go for a hike, or they could go geocaching. And when they go geocaching, they give me a call, and I take them either on site, where we have set up about 24 geocaches, unofficial geocaches on site, or can take them out on a hike, or could even get them in a car and take them to some of the best geocaches in Ojai.
Wow,
so,
really?
Yeah.
How did you get that sweet gig?
had a person who came up with the idea to do that for the Ojai Valley Inn. She didn't know anything about geocaching, so she contacted me and a friend, and we showed her how to geocache, and we became really good geocaching friends. And then when she decided to leave, she's like, "You should hire these guys to do that, and you'll have no idea what you're getting when you do." Mm-hmm. But got the gig, and best job I've ever had. Best job I ever had, best company I ever worked for, and the best boss I've ever had. So,
Okay, so in a month, how many people do you take out in a month?
not very many.
Yeah, I would figure how many
Maybe
people choose
one,
geocaching.
maybe two. Right. It's not. We actually kind of market to two different markets. One is people who come in with their kids, with their 13-year-olds.
Sure.
The 13-year-olds are a little too old for, the camp, their little camp experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little too young to go to Jimmy's bar.
Mm-hmm.
So the family will say, hey, let's, we've heard about this geocaching. Let's go geocaching.
Nice.
And take them around. And then the second, just like Chaz was saying, team building. We'll have corporations come in. They're coming in for, their conference, and they want to do something. And so geocaching is a great team building. We'll divide them into 3 teams, give them a couple of GPSs, and we'll go out and, have a little contest, see who can find the most, who can find them first. And away they go. And lawyers are extremely competitive. When we get a lawyer group, I look around and I see who's wearing sandals, and that's the team I want to be with, because at least they're going to walk. The other guys, they're going to run about 2.5 miles, and I'm getting a little old for that.
And so, are the ones that are on the you said there's 24 on the grounds, right? 24 caches.
Yeah.
Are they real? Are they live? Can I go find them?
They are not. They're not live. They're too close together, and that's one of the advantages that we have. Is they can just be a couple 100 feet apart, and but it's a pretty large campus, and so you can go out and get 26 geocaches in a couple hours, and a wide variety of geocaches, and actually 3 of them are live. We have a gadget cache, a mystery cache, and a multi-cache, and those are live. And then we also have a little a sock puppet account, but it's not really a sock puppet account, but it's an account set up that the guests can sign on, look at what there's around their house, hopefully get excited about geocaching. And I've had a couple guests who have in fact taken up geocaching. Not nice. 3 out of 8, like Jazz, but a few.
Have you ever had people who have cached already? Like if Jesse and I stayed there, we'd be like, yeah, we're doing the geocaching thing. Have you ever had that where you actually had cachers come and do it?
I have not personally, but my buddy Batfeet, he did have that, and he's like called me up and he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I grew up real geocachers and we're out doing this hiking."
Okay, and have they ever? One last question for you: have they ever considered doing an adventure lab there? Because I know those are, you could have adventure labs, in just set aside just for that place, just for that. Like,
I haven't, but that's a great idea. I have an adventure lab myself, but and one of the stations is at the Ojai Valley Inn. But you are correct. I should approach the Ojai Valley Inn and see if they would like me to set up an adventure lab for them. That would be a great idea.
No charge. Free charge
no.
on that one.
No, free advertisement, free. Yeah, you just have to be willing, and they are very willing to let people walk around the campus.
Right, that's the main concern. Obviously, she'll get real cachers there. Yeah. Yeah.
So. Oh yeah. I mean, look up the Ojai Valley Inn and just look it up on Google Earth and see how beautiful that property is and how spread out it is. It's amazing.
Wow.
So,
yeah, that's a sweet gig, dude. That's a
sweet gig.
That's a pretty sweet gig.
Oh, I had a person recently. She was coming back. She had done the on-property geocaching, was bringing her kids back, and she's like, "Okay, I guess we want to do a hike." And I'm like, She says, "But is it educational? Is it has a lot of views?" And I'm like, "Well, give me 2 days. You're giving me 2 days warning. It'll be educational." But and I have a historical multi of Ojai, the historical tour of Ojai, which is a little walking tour. And we went, and I said, "Why don't we do that?" And so we went to the Ojai, to Libby Park, which is the site of the Ojai, which is the oldest amateur tennis tournament in America, 117 years old. Went to the old jail, which is amazing. And then Bart's Books, which is an amazing amazing bookstore. It's actually half the store doesn't have a roof on it because it doesn't rain here very much. So it's just incredible, and they just had the best time.
Jesse, why don't we live someplace where the places don't have roofs on them?
Where the bookstores don't have roofs, and on the outside there's all these used books for sale,
We live in
and there's a
crap.
sign on the door that says we're open from 9 o'clock until dark. And if
Crap.
we're not here, just slide your money through the slot. And they've been doing
Slide
that
your
for
money
50
through
years.
the
Wow.
Lord.
That's not Chicago.
This is definitely not Chicago. No, definitely not Chicago. No.
And probably not even Sacramento, but it is definitely Ojai.
Yeah, it's not Sacramento either.
We do have one outdoor
Yeah.
mall here,
Oh, you
though,
do?
Scott.
Yes.
We have one
We have
outdoor
Old
mall.
Orchard
Very
Mall. Are you
good.
talking about Old Orchard, Jess? Or are you talking about? We have one. We have one. Yeah, but
Mhm.
the stores are indoors.
One outdoor mall. The stores are, yeah, but that's how the malls
yeah.
are in California.
Pretty much
They're all
all the
like
malls
that.
are the majority of
Yeah.
the malls are outdoor malls here.
That's indoor.
When I first time I went to Old Orchard, actually the first and last time I went there,
You've
I was shocked. Yes,
You've been to Old Orchard?
Yeah.
yeah. When I was up there interviewing with the company formerly known as the U.S. Robotics,
Mm.
I was back in the 90s.
And you went to Old Orchard Mall, huh?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, I was rather surprised the first time I went there too. Actually, the first time I went there, I was caching with Scott, and I was like,
Catching.
"There's a mall that's like California here. It's weird."
Yes.
And it was cold.
It was winter time. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was winter time. Yeah. I think it was around Christmas time. I think it was.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, Scott. I hate you for that awesome job, but
I know. Hey, and the one thing that I could say about going with Muggles, go to caches that you've already found, so
Yes.
that
Yeah.
you're not getting DNFs the first time.
well,
they're out there.
that's actually next on my list. So you've segued into it very nicely.
Very good.
I appreciate
Nice
it.
segue. All right, kids, you take care.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Be well. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Chad, vet your caches, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
Vet your caches. Choose your
Definitely.
carefully before you embark. A large cache with lots of favorite points is probably more memorable than a nano on a guardrail. Likewise, a D4 or D5 cache might cause some unnecessary frustration. Look at size, difficulty, and terrain, recent logs, and favorite points
Right.
to tailor a perfect first caching experience for your Muggle.
And a perfect example of this. So I went and specifically picked out these caches that we're going to do. But as we're going along, one of them says, "There's a cache over there about 300 feet," and I just, I cringed. I was like, "Yes, it's been DNF'd multiple times. This is a cache that you skip." It's like, "But can we go look for it?" It's like, "Yes, we're giving it a 15-minute limit." We went over there and looked. Of course, didn't find it.
No.
And it's like, this is why you don't go to a cache that has, 5 DNFs in a row and hasn't been found in 3 years.
Exactly. Love those. Yes.
Yeah.
When-
And also, if you know something that person is interested in, see if you can find a cache maybe related to that or near that or something like that. So, like my dad, for example, loves covered bridges. So I made sure there's lots of covered bridges still out, on the east coast in his neck of the woods out in the Appalachians. And so I actually found a cache at a covered bridge, so he could get some enjoyment out of it as well.
have you never showed them the covered bridge in Long Grove?
No, I don't think so.
Look at that. How about that?
Well, they might take it down now, though.
Is that what they're saying there?
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do.
All right, we've got El Rojo. Hello, sir.
How are you guys?
Good, man. How you doing?
Can't complain.
No? Well, that's good. What's up, man?
So I take Muggles out quite often. Well, I used to before the Rona,
Right.
and it would always be my coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
We go to teacher conferences all up and down the West Coast, and anytime we go somewhere, they invariably, if we're riding together, they're gonna have to stop and get some geocaches with me. Or once we get to where we're at, they're gonna have to geocache with me.
Right.
And they like to talk mad smack about it, but and that's usually my department. My department's we're all males in my department, so we like to razz each other. So they usually will talk trash, but then later on they're like, yeah, it's actually kind of cool.
Right.
And then my non-department members, they're a little cooler about it. They enjoy it, so they expect to go geocaching.
Have you ever turned anybody actually into a cacher, like an account in Cache with?
Yes, I have. The old school I worked at, Karen ended up caching for a while. Actually, quite a few of them have. And then they're kind of usually more casual cachers, though, or vacation cachers. Right. They don't do it super often. But no, I've actually turned a few into cachers, and they got some pretty decent finds. So it just kind of varies. One fun story, we weren't exactly we were geocaching. But my buddy in San Francisco, we were at a social science conference, and he wanted to go up to the top of some building, supposedly to get on the roof and look across. Or no, maybe it wasn't the roof. Maybe there was a glass elevator that you could see out across the city from or something. So we go sneaking into this hotel, and we're trying to get up on the roof. And I totally found my way on the roof, and I'm up there checking out. Well, I think they had cameras or something up there, because next thing I know, security guards rolling up on me. And so it's funny because my coworkers, my wife also works with me, so she was with us. They hear the security guard talking to me, and they all bail on me. They took off. And so we get down to the bottom, and the guy walks me out, and he was cool. I was cool with him. And I see my wife. She acts like she doesn't know who I am. I see my other buddies. They don't know who I am. I walk right by him, and he escorts me out. And then we finally got back together and found some more caches. So we do some fun stuff.
All right. So do you have any advice taking a Muggle caching? Do's and don'ts? Do you have
no, some of that stuff you guys were just saying makes sense. I mean, yeah, you just try not to find lame caches. Like I wouldn't take them to urban bush cache or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Some variety works. They usually tag along with me, so I'm off to do whatever I'm going to do, and they just kind of tag along, and then we head out. So it just kind of varies. Now, I was talking to Jesse about this. This is interesting. I used to actually teach a summer school geocaching class at the high school for incoming freshmen.
Was it like an actual credited class?
Yes. So they take this kind of intro class to high school, and they just get in kind of general credits. And one summer school principals saw somewhere that for a enrichment class, they offer a geocaching class. And I never taught summer school. I had a gun shop to work at. And he comes to me. He's like, you want to teach summer school? I'm like, no. He said, well, hear me out. I saw geocaching as an enrichment class. I'm like, okay, I'm down. So it's like 4 or 5 years.
Really?
I got to teach geocaching for summer school class. I actually had curriculum, and they had to do research. It was kind of a history almost based cache or class. And our school wasn't hurting for money at the time. So they gave me free reign as long as I planned the field trips 2 or 3 days out of a 4-day week. Wow. We were in the bus or in some vans heading to local museums, and Taft's kind of remote. The big town, Bakersfield, is 30 miles away. So, I'd take them anywhere 40, 50 miles away to go to different museums and check stuff out, go out to the tar pits.
Wow.
Light the natural gas on fire. We did all sorts of fun stuff. So, but what was interesting about those kids is that they all had to get an account. So I don't know if that counts as Muggles.
Yeah, it does.
And they had to do their logs. But then, once the class was over, most of them didn't really cache again. Right. Actually, one of those kids, he ended up, he graduated not too long ago. And so I've known him for 5 or 6 years. And actually, him and his girlfriend started caching not too long ago. They were finding quite a few and then dropped back off.
I got a question for you.
And
I got a question for you. You don't have to give me a number. Okay. But is teaching summer school worth it? Pay money wise? Is it no pay? Is it actually pretty good pay? I have no concept of it, so I was just curious.
It depends. So geocaching summer school class, I worked hard on it, but the pay was good. We get, and I don't mind discussing things. We get $59 an hour as our summer school rate.
Wow.
And we do about 5.5 hours a day.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm not complaining.
That's pretty good.
Wow. The gravy train has been summer school PE. So the geocaching class was kind of dying off, and so I only did usually it's a 2-3 week sessions. Well, I only had enough kids for 1 3-week session, and they cut me loose the second half. Well, the first day of the second half, they needed a sub for PE. And so I subbed for PE, and it was a longer day because of the 4th of July holiday, and we had to go 3 days instead of 4. And so I think we did summer school PE for like 7 hours that day. And I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. Because like for the geocaching class, I had assignments for them. They had to write papers. They had to log. They had to learn how to use the computer, do HTML. I mean, like, I was on it. And like, it was hard to get them to work sometimes. And in summer school PE, you just run them around and like go out and play ball and hike down to hike 1.5 miles down to the park and hike back. I'm like, this is freaking awesome. Then they go to the pool. So the last 2 years, I actually got to do summer school PE, even though I don't have a PE credential. I got to do that until we went to distance learning this summer. Well, all those people with PE credentials that were like, oh, sweet, I'm going to do distance learning in summer school PE. They ended up stealing it from me, so I had to do social science. Ugh. And it sucked. I'm telling you right now, like distance learning for teachers, it's a ton of work. You cannot just, you got to redo everything. Like you got to redo your curriculum. I did summer school social science this year, and that may not have been worth it. And they cut one of our hours. Like we were only getting 4.5 hours, but we were easily doing 6 to 7 hours a day, grading and coming up with what the kids had to do the next day. Like I was only 1 day ahead of them.
Right.
Trying to get all the curriculum and stuff ready. And so it's this distance learning. I don't know a single teacher that's not like, if it wasn't for the Rona, they'd be like, well, let's go back right now.
Oh, sure.
Some of them are concerned. Some of them are like, screw it. Let's just go back.
Really?
I die.
It's that bad.
And plus the kids don't like it. Like universally, all my students are like, I want to be back in school.
Yeah, my kids hate it. Yeah. I mean, they understand and they say it's a lot better than it was last year. Last semester rather. But they hate it.
Yeah.
They'd rather, my high schooler hates it. He's like, I just want to go back to school. He hates it, So yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So for my district, summer school was worth it. Usually it pretty much is I would imagine most districts. You're getting paid or you wouldn't do it.
Sure, of course. Yeah. I'm not a teacher. I have no concept of what summer school teachers make. I was just curious if it was good pay, because you figure you're taking them away out of their job. You're taking them away from their break to go work. I assume you have to pay them more. I don't know. That would be my thought, but I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know.
Not necessarily. No. It just depends, because not all teachers, budget well.
Right.
We save enough money to where I get a July paycheck, so I really don't have to teach summer school.
Right.
It just, is icing on the cake.
Yeah, it's money. It's money.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, right. But, and like the geocaching summer school class, it wasn't even like, I had to do work, but
that's not work.
Taking kids out and having fun, like,
dude, do you think
taking them to places and having to learn things. And that was really the nice thing about the class was I got them into places local that they never knew about. Like we had a bug museum that shut down since then.
Right.
Well, we got an air museum. We got all these museums around here, and they never go to them.
Sure.
And so, like, wow, this is kind of cool.
Dude, all this is work. You know how long this crap takes?
I
don't even get paid for it. But but you do it because you love it. That's why. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much for calling in. We appreciate your call. Be well.
All right. Have a good night.
Be safe. Bye. Chad. Continuing on. When caching with Muggles, we recommend avoiding micro or small caches, Chad.
Because they suck.
Caches with large containers are easy to find and usually have fun trade items. Also, try to steer clear of caches with high terrain and difficulty levels. Did you ever bring a Muggle to a high DT, Chad?
I brought my wife on one that the DT wasn't what it was listed. And she was not happy. It turned out to be closer to about a 4.5 terrain when it was listed as a 3, and she was not happy. And I offered when it was starting to get above a 3, about a 3.5. I offered like you can stay here and I can run and try to go get it. And come back. It's like, no, I'm going all the way. I'm going all the way, and afterwards, get out of there. And I apologize. I said, I'm sorry. They rated it a 3 terrain, and it might have been a 3 terrain originally, but it's about a 4.5 terrain now. And he goes, "Oh, they should change the rating." And I was like, you know, don't murder the messenger. But yeah, so taking a Muggle on a high difficulty terrain, difficulty might not be bad, but a high terrain is not something you want to do.
Have a clear idea of the route you want to take, and bonus points for routes that include cool landmarks or points of interest.
Mhm.
Don't plan a full day. Start small. You might want to plan to go out to eat afterwards to wrap up the adventure. Chad,
Mhm.
what does Jim say? Put a micro that is a fake bubblegum under a bench or a fake bolt on a guardrail is a fun one for a Muggle to find. Yeah, but I would say vet that. Make sure you know it's there and you know what it is. That's all. The answer to that. Chad, check the weather. Chad, good Lord, Chad, check the weather. You might love jumping through the woods in the 40 degrees sleet, but your Muggle probably won't. This might seem like common sense, but make sure they're staying warm and dry or cool if it's hot for an optimal first caching experience.
Or just take them to Ojai.
Why does it never rain in Ojai? Oh no, they got
Yeah.
bookstores with no roofs, for Christ's sake. Jesse, why don't we live where there's no roofs?
I used to.
Jesse,
I used to, and you know what happened? The whole time I lived in California, I miss the Midwest, and I miss the seasons, and I miss blah blah blah. And then I moved back here in February. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I really didn't miss the seasons that bad.
Yeah. The
Fun
first
fact.
week I was back here, I'm like, what was I thinking?
fun fact: February in Chicago totally blows.
Oh, literally.
Literally, figuratively.
Yes.
Totally blows. Yeah, it's not. It might be the longest month, the shortest month, yet the longest month.
Yeah, I agree.
It's what it is, man. It's brutal. One more, Chad. Know your resources. If you're looking for ways to boost your geocaching ability or in a place to send your Muggle to learn more on their own, check out Geocaching 101 page on gc.com. There you'll find everything your Muggle will need to ensure the first geocaching outing is all smileys, Chad. Now, I personally have never taken a Muggle out caching aside from my children, but I make them do what I want them to do. So that's not really that doesn't really count. This is actually a good one for this is I was mentioning my children. Yeah, here's a good for juice caching with kids. Quit before they want to quit. That's totally true. Then they'll want to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I when my son was how old was he when I started? He was about eight or nine when I started, and I took him out on one that was I shouldn't have. The DT was horrid on it, and then the whole way back was nothing but whining and crying and admittedly, the undergrowth was very, very bad and very snagging and stuff. So it's like you don't want to deal with that.
What is the dog barking at, Jess?
I'm not really sure what's going on with her. She's all wound up. I don't understand.
Yeah, we took her to the dog park and everything to tie.
We took her for a mile walk. She was still wound up. We took her to the dog park. She's still wound up. Maybe she's overtired. Maybe she's like a toddler who
Puppy.
refuses to fall asleep.
Look at her. What is she doing? Let her stop it.
Sorry, I have a weird chair here.
Let her stop. What are you doing? All
So,
right.
hey, don't look at me.
All right. That's all for the show tonight. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. We appreciate it very much. Chad, next week. Chad.
Next week.
I love next week. Next week, guys, we're bringing back something I think we did in February, as a matter of fact, the crappy month. Favorite caching experiences for you too. Callers calling in with their favorite caching experiences. Last time we did the show, it was fantastic, and we had so many good stories. I can't wait to hear more, guys. So get get ready to give us a call next week. And I would love to hear from first time. I love first time callers. Those are my favorites. But favorite caching experiences, give us a call. Talk about your favorite caching experiences and what you did, what you saw, where you went. We'll talk about it next week, guys. And join us next week. Thank you so much, Chad. Thank you so much, Jesse. Thank you so much, Jeeves, for not being quiet. Appreciate it very much. And let's close this show. Damn dog. Close the show. Please join us again every Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central as we stream live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our website, geocachingpodcast.com. The archive video versions of our podcasts are available on our website or on our YouTube channel, and the audio versions are available on your favorite podcatcher. If you like the show, please head on over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe. We really appreciate it, and it really helps the show when you do. If you prefer to watch the show, make sure you click the subscribe or get notified buttons to know when exactly we go live. And hey, if you haven't already, please consider becoming a patron of our show. With tiers starting as low as $3, you're getting a ton of additional information, extra video, extra audio, only available to our patron members. Please head over to patreon.com today and subscribe. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast. Thanks once again to our sponsors, Cachly, Logwork, FTF Geocaching Magazine, the Max Sense Body Company, Practical Geocaching, Arted Crafted, and PatTags.com. Please visit our sponsors, and when you make that purchase, you tell them the GCPC sent you. That's all we got this week, so we'll see you next week. Talking geocaching, taking your phone calls. In the meantime, be good, be safe, hug your loved ones, and we will talk to you guys next week. What the hell is that dog barking at? Jess, what is she barking at? What a jerk. Thanks for the company. 24 caches found during the show. Oh, man. You actually got to actually find 24 caches while we got to sit here and talk about caching? You're doing it? That's not fair. That's not fair. All right, guys. Next week, Chad, favorite caching experiences. Guys, we'll talk. Give us a call next week, guys. We will talk to you guys on Saturday night, Chad. This Saturday night, the social club coming back. Got some things to talk about on Saturday night. So we'll see you guys on Saturday night. Be well and be safe. All right, guys. Chad, be well, be safe. Okay. We'll talk to you guys on Saturday. Jesse, I can't hear you, but we're ending the show. Just let you know.
Okay. I got her to stop barking.
Oh, well done.